A few lines later, Jerry says, I am a permanent transient that exists only for a short time. Okay, and my home is a sickening rooming house on the west side of New York City, which is the greatest city in the world. Amen. So you can see that again he's highly sarcastic of the present condition of America. He is living in a rooming city with rooming house means rented house, okay, where in the greatest city in the world, okay, yet his existence is what? It is something that is transient means that exists only for a short time. It's something that is momentary, you can say. Okay, again, so there is a kind of you can say that a reference to the existentialism. You can see the existential crisis of human beings. After that, he is giving a reference to the zoo again. He says, now I'll let you in on what happened at the zoo, but first I should tell you why I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo to find out more about the way people exist with animals. Why exactly I went to the zoo? To know how exactly people exist with animals, okay, and the way animals exist with each other and with people too. That is why I have been to zoo. It probably wasn't a fair test. With everyone separated by bars from everyone else, the animals for the most part from each other, and always people from the animals. But if it is a zoo, that is the way it is. So it's like you are into a particular place where you are separated from each other with bars, okay, and if you are separated from each other with bars, there is no proper interaction with that set of people, okay. So if there is no proper interaction, then there is nothing to be feared about. So why? Because they are like safely put in the bars, okay, so there is no need to worry. So here you can see that if Jerry is like an animal, or you can say that belongs to that particular category of people who are being treated as animals or not as human beings, then the moment there is an interaction of interaction between these set of people who are treated as animals with that of human beings who are treated as human beings, then there is a tension situation. You're getting it. So that is why he is making a reference to all these. After this particular incident of being into the zoo and placing within the bars, then you can see that that interaction zone between Peter and Jerry, it actually starts, it initiates there, and then you can see that there is a change in the attitude of Jerry, and he is like becoming a kind of demanding many things from Peter, and he says, listen to me, Peter, I want this bench. Till then he was like very reluctant even to sit along with Peter. Now he says like, I want this bench, you go and sit on the bench over there, and if you are good, I'll tell you the rest of the story. And Peter says, what is the matter with you? Besides, I see no reasons why I should give up this bench. I sit on this bench almost every Sunday afternoon in good weather. It is secluded here. There is never anyone sitting here, so I have it all to myself, okay. So he is like very comfortable in his position. Please don't try to enter into my space, that is what Peter is saying. Then Peter says, people can't have everything they want, okay. So if you are like angry about the things that you don't possess in your life, try to understand, Jerry, that people cannot have everything they want. You can sit back in a relaxed manner and can say all these things, that is why Jerry is like very angry about the statement later. Then Peter says, long enough, I have put up with you long enough. I have listened to you because you seemed well, because I thought you wanted to talk to someone. You can say that few lines later, I will not give up this bench. Peter says, you can't have it, and that's it. Now go away. Till the time that you are in a comfortable position, you can talk about many injustices that are there in the society, many divisions, all these things you can talk about. The moment it is going to challenge change you, it's like a struggling period, that is getting reflected here. Jerry says you won't find a policeman around here. They are all over on the west side of the park chasing fairies down from the trees or out of the bushes. That's all they do. That's their function. Okay, so they are just after what? Fairies. Again, social criticism is there. Then Peter, great God, I just came here to read, and now you want me to give up the bench. You are mad. See the change in the character of Peter. Okay, and then Jerry, why? You have everything in the world you want. You have told me about your home, your family, you own little Sue, and you have everything. Now you want this bench. It's like a very powerful statement, from Jerry. Then all these things men fight for. Tell me, Peter, is this bench, this iron, and this wood, and is this your honor? Is this the thing in the world that you fight for? Can you think of anything more absurd? So the position that we are talking about, what exactly is this thing called honor? All these things are challenged, by this particular statement of Jerry. It's a highly, you can say, powerful statement. Then Jerry, you don't have any idea, even the slightest, what the other people need. So he's talking about the lack in the lives, the lack of things in the lives of people who are in fact being treated as animals. Okay, so what exactly is their honor? What exactly is their their need? That is in fact being questioned by, you can say, Jerry in all these statements. Then I have come here for years. I have hours of great pleasure, great satisfaction. Peter says right here, and that's important to a man. What is more important to a man? That is satisfaction. I am a responsible person. Again, look at all the words that is in fact being used by Peter. I am a grown-up man, and this is my bench, and you have no right to take it away from me. So again, this is like a criticism of the so-called American ideals. I have already discussed with you the concept called American dream. So this is like in fact the beginning of a challenge to the concept called American dream. Okay, Jerry, now you pick up that knife and you fight with me. You fight with your self-respect. You fight with that for that goddamned bench. Then Jerry slaps on each fight. You fight, you miserable bastard. Then fight for that bench, fight for your parakeets, slap. He is in fact giving for each time he is using fight, he is slapping on he slaps on the face of Peter. And then you fight for your manhood. He's provoking Peter. And then you can see that towards the end he says like and now I'll tell you what happened at the zoo. I think this is what happened at the zoo. I think that while I was at the zoo, I decided that I would walk northerly rather until I found you or somebody. I am not bothered like who exactly I have found. And I decided that I would talk to you. I would tell you things, and things that I would tell you, you would. Well, here we are. You see, then you remember the face I told you about, my face, the face you see right now, Peter. Thank you. I came to you. Then you can see that he fell into the knife of knife which was in fact being held by Peter. And towards the end he dies. Okay, and last statement of Jerry, you won't be coming back here anymore. This bench will be a kind of nightmare. It will remain as a nightmare for the rest of your life. The bench for which you have in fact fought, the bench with which you have equated your honor, it will be a nightmare for the rest of your life. Peter, you have been dispossessed. You have been thrown out of that particular possession of yours, and then you have lost your bench, but you have defended your honor. That is what is very important thing. And Peter, I'll tell you something now. You are not really a vegetable. It's all right, you're an animal. You're an animal too. Deep within you, you are also just like us. Okay, so that is all about, you can say, the highlights of the play. And the next session we'll discuss about the major themes.